You're on the couch halfway through something when the thought arrives fully formed. You need the charger from the bedroom. Simple. You stand up, you walk down the hall with a clear purpose, you step through the bedroom door, and it's gone. You're just standing there, blank. Whatever you came in for has evaporated out of your head, and now you're staring at the room like it might remind you. It won't. So you stand there feeling slightly stupid, maybe a little worried, running the same useless loop, the one line everybody on Earth knows by heart. What did I come in here for? Here's the first thing you should know. You're not losing your mind. You're not getting old. Nothing is wrong with your memory at all. In fact, what just happened is a sign your brain is working exactly the way it's supposed to. And here's the part that sounds like a joke, but isn't. A big part of the reason you forgot is the doorway. Not the hallway, not the walking, the doorway itself. That plain rectangle you passed through without a thought reached into your head and quietly wiped the thought clean. And once you understand why, you're gonna see this invisible mechanism running everywhere in your life, not just in hallways. This has a name. Scientists call it the doorway effect, and it's one of the most reliable, most relatable little glitches in all of memory research. For years, it lived as a running joke. Everybody's done it, nobody knew why. Then, a psychologist named Gabriel Radvansky decided to actually chase it down. His first big study came out in 2006. He built a simple video game world where people moved through rooms, picking up objects on tables, and carrying them to drop off somewhere else. As they moved, he'd stop them and quiz them. What are you carrying right now? Do you remember the object? Sometimes people walked the same distance across one big room to make the drop. Sometimes they walked that same distance, but passed through a doorway into a new room. Same walk, same object, same amount of time. The only difference was whether a door frame passed over their head along the way. And the people who walked through a doorway were noticeably worse at remembering. Same effort, same distance, but crossing that threshold knocked the object loose. He called it, plainly, walking through doorways causes forgetting. Now, when you first hear that, your brain does what a good skeptic's brain should do. It goes, okay, but a video game isn't real life. And maybe it's just that the new room is distracting, or you turned a corner, or something. Fair. So a few years later, in 2011, Radvansky and his team ran it again, this time in the actual physical world. Real rooms, real tables, people carrying real boxes with objects hidden inside, so they couldn't just glance down and cheat. They walked around, and sometimes they crossed a real doorway and sometimes they didn't. And the effect held up. Cross a threshold in a real building, and your memory for what you were just doing takes a hit. But that same study is where it gets genuinely strange, because they ran one more version, the one that flips this from a funny quirk into something deeper. They had people walk through a doorway into a new room, and then walk right back into the original room where they'd started. The logic being, if the new room is just distracting you, then going home to the familiar room should snap the memory back into place, right? Return to the scene of the thought, get the thought back. It didn't work. Going back to the original room did not rescue the memory. The forgetting had already happened, and standing in the right room again couldn't undo it. Sit with that for a second, because it kills the obvious explanation. It's not about being in the wrong place. It's not about your surroundings jogging your memory. The damage was done the moment you crossed the line, and crossing back doesn't reverse it. Which means the door isn't hiding your thoughts somewhere in the other room. The door is doing something to how your brain files the thought in the first place. And that is exactly why the next 10 minutes are worth your time. Because by the end, you're going to understand 3 things. You'll know what your brain is actually doing every time you cross one of these lines, and why it's not a flaw. It's one of the smartest things your mind does all day. You'll see that this door is almost never really about doors. And once you spot the real trigger, you'll catch it happening to you in a dozen situations that have nothing to do with hallways. And you'll walk away with a stupidly simple trick you can use tomorrow to stop losing your thoughts mid-walk. Let's get the mechanism first, because everything else falls out of it. Your brain does not record your life as one long, smooth video. That feels like what's happening, but it isn't. Under the hood, your mind is constantly chopping your experience into chunks, little episodes with a beginning and an end. Researchers call this event segmentation, and one of the people who mapped it out is a scientist named Jeffrey Sachs, who laid out the framework in a major review back in 2007. Here's the idea. As you go through your day, your brain is quietly running a model of what's happening right now, where you are, what you're doing, what matters in this moment, what you're about to do next. Think of it like a mental workspace that holds the current situation. Your goal, grab the charger, gets loaded into that workspace along with everything else about the couch, the show, the room you were in, and your brain is always watching for the moment that situation ends. When something changes enough, the scene shifts, the topic changes, you move from one place to another, it decides, okay, that episode is over, a new one is starting. It closes the old workspace and opens a fresh one for the new situation. Scientists call that moment an event boundary. A doorway is about the most obvious event boundary there is. New room, new lighting, new everything. So the instant you cross it, your brain goes, new scene, and wipes the workspace to make room for it. The problem is, your little goal, the charger, was sitting in the old workspace, and you just closed that workspace. The thought didn't get lost in the other room. It got filed under a chapter your brain just finished and shelved. That's why walking back doesn't help. You can return to the room, but you can't unclose the chapter. Which raises the real question, and this is where it stops being about doors at all. Because if the trigger is your brain deciding one episode has ended and another has begun, then a physical door is just one way to cross that line. It's the most reliable trigger, sure. Walls and door frames scream new place, but it is very much not the only one. Think about the last time you were deep into a task at your computer and a notification pulled you into a 2-minute conversation, and when you turned back, you had no idea what you'd been about to do. You didn't walk through anything. You crossed an event boundary in your head. One topic ended, another began, and your brain closed the chapter on the first one. Same glitch. No door required. It's why you can march to the kitchen with a mission and lose it on the way because you passed a mirror and thought about your hair. It's why picking up your phone to check one thing so often ends with you standing there wondering what you unlocked it for. The app switched the scene and your original goal got left in the previous episode. It's even why you can start typing a message, glance up at the clock for half a second, and completely lose the sentence you were building. The clock nudged you into a new moment, and the old one quietly closed behind you. The doorway effect was never really about architecture. The door is just the clearest, most physical version of a line your mind is drawing hundreds of times a day, mostly without you noticing. And here's the twist that makes all of this land differently. This is not your brain failing. This is your brain succeeding. Imagine if it didn't do this. Imagine every detail of every moment stayed equally loud in your head all day. The couch, the charger, the conversation from an hour ago, the thing you were doing this morning, all of it crammed into one endless workspace with no chapters. You'd be buried. You could never focus on now because now would be drowning in the leftovers of everything that came before. Chopping your life into episodes and clearing out the old one is how you stay sane. It's how you can walk into a new room and deal with the new room, instead of dragging the entire day in behind you. The forgetting isn't the bug. The forgetting is the price of a system that keeps your mind clean and focused on wherever you actually are. A brain that never let go of the last episode wouldn't be a sharper brain, it would be a slower, more crowded, more anxious one, dragging every finished moment around forever. 99 times out of 100, dumping the last episode is exactly the right move. The doorway effect is just the one time in 100 where the thing you dumped happened to be the reason you got up. So what do you actually do about it? This is the part you can use starting tomorrow, and it falls straight out of everything so far. If the problem is that your goal gets left behind in a closing chapter, the fix is to keep the goal alive across the boundary, to make it too loud to file away. Move 1. Say it out loud. Actually say the words, charger, 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 as you walk. It feels ridiculous. It also works because now the goal isn't a quiet little thought riding along in the old workspace. It's active, it's on your tongue. It keeps reloading itself into each new moment, so when your brain opens the fresh chapter, the charger is still right there in your hands, so to speak. Move 2. Picture it. Before you stand up, spend 1 real second imagining the object, the actual charger, where it is, you grabbing it. A vivid mental image is stickier than a vague intention, and it gives your memory something concrete to carry across the door instead of a fuzzy little to-do. Move 3, if you can, hold something. Grab a physical reminder. Literally carry an item that points at the goal, or leave your hand in the gesture of what you're about to do. Anchoring the intention to your body helps it survive the scene change because your body comes with you across every boundary. And move 4, for when it's already too late and you're standing in the room blank, go back. Not because the room fixes it, remember, the room doesn't. Go back because returning to the couch, the exact spot and posture where the thought was born, reloads the whole original episode. The show, the position, the moment. You're not searching the room, you're reopening the chapter. And more often than not, the goal comes back with it. So the next time you march into a room and go completely blank, staring around like the walls stole something from you, don't panic and definitely don't decide your memory is falling apart. What actually happened is beautifully ordinary. You had a thought, you crossed a line, and a brain that is very, very good at its job closed one chapter of your day and opened the next, and your little errand got left on the last page. You didn't lose your mind in that doorway. You just watched it do the one thing that keeps you from losing it completely.